Patreon supporters received early access to the video you're about to watch. To find out more about how to become a patron supporter, go to patreon.com/TJRTheOriginal or follow the link under Show More and at the end of this video. I want to thank my Patreon supporters who are helping to make videos like this possible. Hey everybody, this is TJR.
And this is Robert Kinsler.
And we are back.
Finally, right?
At long last, to continue our top 100 songs of all time. It's 46 through 50 for this segment. We will reach the halfway point.
I know.
With this episode.
That is very cool.
While we were setting up, of course, you mentioned that the last one of these that we did was about 4 months ago. And a lot of people have been asking, what happened to the top 100? And I don't want to get into any soap opera, but you've had a lot of stuff going on in your personal life. You've had to take care of a lot of family matters.
Exactly.
That's all we're going to say. We've mentioned it before, but just for those wondering, it's personal. And as soon as we are able to get this back in the swing of things, we will. But we're glad we can come back for this one and just get up to number 50.
That's right. Yeah, we're pushing it up the hill
There you go. And so for those of you who are new, this is our personal top 100 songs. We are giving no consideration to historical importance. This is just personally, our personal top 100 songs of all time. And as always, we encourage you to join us in the conversation and list your next 5 songs in the comment section. And I'm going to bring that up again later.
Okay.
So let's get right to it.
Okay, sounds good.
The 5 songs that I've got here are what I call songs that stop me in my tracks. And of course, I should probably say that all the songs that I've listed so far are songs that when I start them, I have to finish them. Don't interrupt me while I'm listening to this song. I'm listening to this song, damn it. And this song just takes me on a journey from start to finish. And all of them do. But these 5, I thought about that a lot as I was thinking of the next 5. And so my number 46 is Get the Funk Out by Extreme from the album Pornography. And this song is just first of all, have you heard this song?
I have.
Okay,
I have heard the song. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. This song is 4 minutes of balls to the walls. This is just a seamless blend of funk and rock. And my God, the musicianship in this song on display here is so incredibly sick. And oh my goodness.
The groove is so cool. I mean, you almost don't think about how great the musicianship is, but you're right.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
When I listen to this song, I just like, holy cow. How in the hell is he playing that on guitar? I didn't even want to think about the other instruments. And that guitar solo, it's just like, I may as well just hang it up. When someone plays a guitar like that, I'm just going to hang it up. Forget it. There's no point in going on any further. But yeah, I think it's just an insanely great song. I'm surprised it never got bigger. It's an interesting thing. I have been talking a little bit more about the band Project True because there's been more stuff going on. And of course, you're in the band. And I don't know if you've ever heard this, but Rob, who of course runs the band, once told me that prior to anything happening with Project True, the song Get the Funk Out was kind of how he envisioned this band that he had in mind.
Interesting.
Before he even thought to call it Project True,
wow.
He was thinking that's kind of what he was going for.
Interesting.
And it's nothing he ever brought up in all the early period of that band. Its first incarnation back in the 90s, its second incarnation in the mid-2000s. And he's never really brought it up too many times, but he brought it up to me once. And I just thought I'd share that.
Yeah, that's interesting. He never mentioned that to me.
Yeah, well, it's because he likes me more.
That's right. You're special. Yeah, exactly.
But
and I'm definitely not special.
Anyways, though, so Get the Funk Out, Extreme, just a killer kick-ass song.
Yeah.
And that is my number 46. I'm anxious to hear yours.
Well, my number 46 song is a song that I think everyone will probably know, and that's Handle with Care from the Traveling Wilburys.
Okay.
Love that song. And, you know, what I simply can't believe is that it's been more than 30 years since that song came out, because when that song comes on now, it kind of like what you're saying, I love it as much as the first time I heard it. It's just a timeless, great song. And the story behind that, I think, is George Harrison, I think, recorded that in someone out there will correct me if I don't have the exact story. I think he brought it to the record label, and, you know, the record label said, this is so good, you got to do this as like a full-length project, not as a single. So that's where I guess he got Jeff Lynne involved, and Bob Dylan and Tom Petty and Roy Orbison, and the rest, as we know, is history. Yeah, and you know, that whole first album they did is great, but I think that is still the gem on that album, Handle with Care. Just love that song. And you know,
very
that's
cool song.
Yeah, number 46, and I could listen to it anytime and anywhere. Just love it.
I'm sure everybody's very familiar with that. My number 47 is going to be one that everybody knows. I'm sure you know this. Everybody out here probably knows this. And that is going to be Gimme Shelter by the Rolling Stones from the album Let It Bleed, which is having an anniversary right now this month. Let It Bleed, once again, stops me in my tracks. When I hear that guitar that's just way down in the mix at the opening, it starts to slowly fade up. And the other instruments start to layer on top of it. And to me, that opening is just one of the most cinematic openings in rock history. To me, the sound of that song, the sound of that introduction, is like you're sitting there in a movie theater and there's this scene of a dark highway, you know, in the middle of the night, and in the far distance, this little speck is a car coming towards you. That's Keith Richards' guitar. And then when you hear those high-pitched female background vocals, I don't know, maybe it's not a female, maybe it's the band singing in falsetto, I'm not sure. But when you hear those, you know, I'm not singing it very well, but when you hear that, that's the wind coming down, you know, that's the wind going through as the car gets closer, you know, closer and closer and closer to you. And to me, it's very cinematic. That song just floors me. I have to hear it all the way through. Yeah, I love that song. And it just like stops me cold and just possesses me when I hear that song. That is my number 47. Wow.
Wow, amazing. You know, you said it all. Great, an amazing song. Yeah, can't argue with that. My next track, and this is 47, is Old Man by Neil Young. And that's off 1972's Harvest. And it's funny, when I first heard that song, I'm trying to think what I was, 10, 11, 12 or something. Even then, so I probably couldn't even really relate to what he was singing about. I just loved the song. Probably at that time, it was probably the melody or the music or the you know, the guitar and stuff. But as I've gotten older, and even though I've discovered so much more of what Neil Young is about and continued to produce, that song just resonates with me so powerfully. And it's amazing because I don't know Neil Young's exact age, but I know he sings that line 24 and there's so much more. You know, just such an amazing, how young he was, and to be so perceptive about the future and how quickly life goes by. I don't know if there's many songs written by somebody that young that so eloquently speak of, you know, of kind of like, you know, life's journey and how quickly, if you don't appreciate it, it's going to leave you behind, you know, and kind of thing. And just a great song.
Absolutely, you know? Absolutely. And I love that song too. Yeah. And it's from an amazing album as well.
Harvest is just a great album.
Harvest, wow. My number 48 is going to be a song called Tikkun, which not a lot of people know, by Elton John. And it's off the album Caribou. Tikkun was not a hit. I don't think Tikkun will ever get on the radio. Not then, not now, because of its subject matter. Tikkun is one of the darkest songs that Elton John and Bernie Taupin have ever written. And it is about a ticking human time bomb who, by the song's end, by the time the story that the song is telling is over, he has committed a mass shooting. He's committed mass murder. And it's all from the point of view of this character. it's a devastating song to listen to. It's more devastating now than it probably was back in the 70s when it came out.
And, you know, I have to tell you, I've heard that album, Caribou, but it's been, I have to say, it's been a number of years, and in the song, I'm not recalling it right now, and just you talking about it, I know I need to go listen to that.
It's the last song on the album.
Okay.
And the song is mostly just Elton on the piano, playing, and just his voice. There are a few subtle musical textures that kind of move in and out with it. But it's mostly just him on the piano. And one thing about his performance I want to talk about is that as our character slides and descends into madness, his piano playing becomes more frantic, more frenzied. And it's definitely deliberate. It's definitely done to help propel the story forward. And Tikkun is basically, to me, the taxi driver of pop songs, or the taxi driver of rock songs. And it is, like I said, one of the most darkest statements from Elton John and Bernie Taupin. And it's probably not for everybody, but it's a powerful song. And it just, like I said, I listen to it. I cannot veer away from it. I have to keep listening. I have to take it to its ending. And yeah, powerful, powerful song.
Yeah, sounds like it. Wow. Now, my track number 48, totally different, is Strength by The Alarm. And this is the title track off the band's 1985 album, Strength. And, you know, I think why it resonates with me, it's just so clear and so forceful. Such a propulsive song. And, you know, with The Alarm, I think over the years, you know, because sometimes you kind of sometimes hear them compared to U2, but they weren't really, they could have this kind of bombastic, kind of this direct approach in their kind of in their musical approach, kind of like a band like AC/DC might, although very different because of kind of the social themes of social justice and those kind of things. But I just think this is a very amazing song because it's so uplifting. I mean, if you're feeling down and you put on Strength, it's gonna make you feel a little bit more ready to go out and face the world and stuff. And just Mike Peters, what a great vocal performance. And I think the song is just you know, it's just a great song. You used to hear it a lot on the radio. I don't think it's played on the radio anymore, and that's unfortunate, but I think it's a great song.
I'm trying to remember if I know this song.
If you heard it, I'm sure it would immediately say, oh, yeah, I know that song. It's one of the... But unfortunately, it's like we've talked about. I know when I talked about the Smithereens on a previous episode, they were a band that at one time in the 80s and probably the 90s got a significant amount of airplay on not only modern rock stations, but also kind of some of the more... you know, FM rock stations, like here in Southern California, K-Rock would play them, but also KLOS would play them.
Yeah.
You know, now I don't hear them at all. Now, you know, it's unfortunate because the music in this song in particular deserves to be heard.
It's weird and it's unfortunate how certain bands just kind of fall between the cracks sometimes in the public consciousness.
It's unfortunate, But yeah, I really like this song, and you know, it's almost 35 years old, and I think it's still just a great song.
Great. Thanks for sharing that.
Okay.
Keeping in theme with songs that just stop me in my tracks, my number 49 will be Magic Man by Heart off the album Dreamboat Annie. And Magic Man was my introduction to Heart. That was the first song where I heard them, and there was this connection. That's a band, and they're called Heart. And there's some girl singing, because I was just hearing them on the radio. I didn't know who else was in the band. I just heard this female voice. I heard this band that played unbelievably amazing, and this amazing killer hypnotic song with this hypnotic groove, you know, dun 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 dun.
Yeah, exactly.
Dun 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 dun. And damn, the other thing I want to just great groove, great melody, great vocal, amazing musicianship, but the lead guitar by Howard Lees, that weird. I can't even hum it. The way, and then he repeated it. You know, and it sounded like almost like a cat, like crying, or a cat, you know, when they're when they're fighting or something, or they're growling. It was just like and it was amazing sounding. And then there was that weird break. Down out, and then the synthesizer, do 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 do, you know, down, you know, it's just this weird, funky break in the middle of the song. nobody would do stuff like that nowadays.
No way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, very inventive, and it really worked. I mean, and like you said, there's these different things going on, but boy, they tied it all together magically.
Yeah.
So it really worked out.
And then
Sounds
just
great.
those lyrics.
Yeah.
That just told that story.
Yeah.
So yeah, Magic Man, my number 49.
Yeah.
And
Great,
how about
great
you?
track. Now, this is the first time this has ever happened in the same episode where we have the same song on the same. I have "Gimme Shelter," which I know you featured just a few minutes ago, and I just everything you said, I just love that song. And it's funny, I've heard not only Stones do it live, but I've as you know, I have so many live Stones DVDs and Blu-rays, and they've been putting out these series of many of their vintage concerts and stuff, and I've purchased a bunch of them and have them. And I'm telling you, TJ, that the song, they just kill it. Like every it's like a highlight on every one of the performances is Gimme Shelter. I'm also a huge fan of Wild Horses that I think I had earlier on my list.
Yes, you did.
But as far as just something that in the live setting just sweeps everybody up, and then whoever the female vocalist they get, inevitably they get somebody that really knocks that out of the park with Mick Jagger, and just the whole dynamics of the song and the guitars and the groove, and it's just one of the greatest songs ever. Which is why I think it made both of our lists, and I'm sure many people out there would agree with us. It's just an amazing, timeless song.
Someday I have to talk about how that song was produced, just the production in that song, the way the different elements of the musicians and the singing, everything, just the way it all kind of works. And we have to talk about that. That's a video for another day.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so
now we're on to 50, Magic 50.
Number 50. And to close out this song, to close out this video, not this song, this video, the song I'm going to choose is "The Song Is Over" by The Who, off the album Who's Next. And I really sometimes wish they'd closed with this song. They don't, of course.
Yeah, no, they don't.
They close with "Won't Get Fooled Again." And I've always thought that side one, because side one opened with Baba O'Reilly, that side two should have opened with "Won't Get Fooled Again."
Right.
And it should have ended with "The Song Is Over" as a fitting way to end the album.
I hadn't thought of that, but that's so spot on.
Yeah, I just thought it should end that way, especially after bringing up the very dark topic and the subject matter of the song Tikkun. "The Song Is Over" is a song that just fills me with just so much hope and optimism. Not that the lyrics are necessarily about that. On different times in my life, what the lyrics of that song are about have changed over my lifetime, and but I think nowadays it's kind of like the song. The song is about how songs are impermanent. Individual songs themselves are impermanent. They have their time and then they're gone. But music itself is eternal and is always flowing with something new. There's always something different. Just as hope springs eternal, music springs eternal. And I used to misunderstand the closing lines in that song. He actually sings, "Searching for a note, pure and easy, playing so free like a breath rippling by." I always thought he was saying, because he keeps singing, "This song is over, this song is over." And I always thought he said, "Except for one note." Like, this song is over except for one note, pure and easy, playing so free like a breath rippling by. It's that one note that continues to inspire more music in the future. And to me, it was just always very poetic. And so when I listen to it now, I still misunderstand the lyrics because to me that is stronger than "searching for one note, except one note, pure and easy."
Wow.
Anyways, though.
Yeah, a wonderful song.
That's my number 50.
Yeah. My number 50 is a song that probably might be the best known song we've even talked about, and that's "Over the Rainbow" by Judy Garland.
Oh, man.
And I know
I am jealous at you for picking this before me. I am jealous of you.
So
I'm sorry, go ahead.
So it's the greatest song from the greatest movie. of all time. And I know we both share that. It's funny. I mean, we have different tastes, this and that, but boy, so many people I know love The Wizard of Oz. I mean, what can you say? I mean, this movie, what is it, 80 plus years old now? Yeah. So the recording, I think, was made in 1938, and then it was released. Obviously, the movie came out in 1939. And what's so amazing is I read this on Wikipedia, so I'm pretty sure it's certain, is that at least a couple of the producers of the movie didn't want that performance and that song included in the movie. They thought it slowed down the momentum. But Judy Garland's maybe vocal coach and somebody else said, no, it needs to be in there. But thank God it is, because it's just what a masterpiece. Could you imagine it not being in the film? And it's but you know, what can you do? It's just so beautiful and just takes you to such a magical place when you hear it. You know, I mean, it did that to me when I was a child, and now that I'm far from childhood, it still does that to me. So, you know, so that's my number 50. A good song to put halfway through our list.
Yeah, good choice, man. Because I mean, Judy Garland's vocal performance on that song is probably, it's one of those vocal performances that the more I hear it, the more I hear. It's one of the most amazing vocal performances I've ever heard in my life. And it never gets old for me. It continually it continually just floors me every time I hear it. And the more I hear it, the more floored I am by it.
It's just, it's phenomenal. It's like it comes from another universe or something. It doesn't almost seem real. Even when you see it within the movie, it's so beautiful and stuff. And you know, and I think that it goes, you know, the entire movie is great. I mean, there's not a scene that you could do with throughout the entire movie, but there's something, even within the context of that brilliant movie, there's something about that song and this performance, and here she was, this young actress and this young singer, and just delivered something so monumental. You know, I mean, people with 20 times, 30 times as much vocal training or acting experience or anything. I mean, it just truly is an incredible moment, I think, in the 20th century, you know, in the arts.
Well, dude, you kicked my ass with that.
No, hey, I loved your list. Hey, we both had Gimme Shelter on there.
Yes, right, we did. That's right, we did. But no, that was just, I am surprised I did not think of that song sooner. Yeah, I'm surprised that one didn't.
Well, we did discuss.
I'm glad you brought it up, man.
We did discuss when we first started. Hey, is it only contemporary pop music? Going back to the 50s, or did we say let's go back to and then we said no, let's do whatever is our favorite songs.
No rules and limitations. No rules and limitations. Just whatever song comes to your mind is that song definitely. It's there.
Yeah,
you know, you add it to the list. It's been mostly rock and pop. Yeah, it has. But you know, but sometimes, it does veer off, and that was a great choice. Yeah, awesome. So there you have it. There's our 46
through 50.
Through 50, yes. And we want to hear yours now. Give us yours. Like I said, one of the things I've loved about doing these videos is reading everybody else's next 5 and seeing what they have to say.
There's so many great songs I've seen on these lists, and whether they ultimately make our list or not, I mean, it's just great that so many people have. So you know that so many of our viewers they have the same kind of eclectic ear that we have. You know, and it's great to hear that.
So anyways, everybody, we're glad we could finally come back and do the next 5. Here's hoping that there won't be such a long gap in between. Keeping our fingers crossed. Yep. And everybody, as always, if you like what we're doing, please click like, click subscribe, smash the bell notification icon. And if you'd like to help us make more videos, consider going to the Patreon page. Donate whatever you can. And everybody, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.